Ted was wishing he had a towel this morning after venturing out to the weather patio, and you did have your umbrella. It was just raining so hard.
It's like somebody dumping a bucket of water over your head. The umbrella could do so much, but you know, the lower half of the body get a little wet, and my arm. But you know, it's all dry now. I survived. It was very wet though. That was the heaviest portion of the rain. You watch time lapse here, and you can see how heavy it got in a hurry. There's that dark shelf cloud rolling in with the gusty winds, and then the downpour of rain. Then we had intermittent showers and a little thunder through the course of the morning. Time lapse from our Lewis Didauto camera for the studio. Now looking live outside. Quieter picture right now. We are between showers. Gray sky is still at this point. Maybe a few hours before we see much, if any, of the sun. I think we may see a little bit of late day sunshine. Showers still in the area. Very light rain around Rochester. Larger cluster of storms at the west. Not severe, but it's approaching Owatonna, moving toward Blooming Prairie. Some downpours of rain with that. You see Mankato area at 3 to 5 inches of rain on radar estimates so far. 3 to 5 inches also near Faribault. That's where there was earlier today a flash flood warning because of the excessive rain. Of course, Baldwin talked about that. More than 6 inches in some portions of that city, but the radar estimates around that whole area, 3 to 6 inches. Here in Rochester, an inch plus. We had 1.5 inches on the weather patio. That's what we've had so far today. We're not going to get nearly that much the afternoon hours, so much lighter rain in store for the rest of today. But looking at those showers with the stationary front that's stalled in the area, that's going to be the focus of more thunderstorm chances off and on for the next couple of days until this main area of low pressure moves slowly eastward and then moves on through, and things will quiet down later in the day. Since first thing this morning, showers across the area yielding up to 2 inches locally. Wabasha 2 inches. Whitewater State Park reported 1.96 inches. Lake City 1.82 inches. Claremont a little more than 3/4 of an inch. At the airport officially 65/100ths of an inch in Rochester. Looking at some of the reports from yesterday, of course, last evening, just before sunset, a couple of tornadoes reported and some funnel clouds just between Stockton and Wilson and southwest of Winona. That's where we've talked about some of that. Some potential EF0 tornadoes, very brief rope tornado touchdowns. So they were spotted by storm spotters. The National Weather Service has indicated they're more than likely very brief touchdowns of EF0. So the lowest, weakest level of tornado and no damage was reported in those. 71 right now in Rochester, Austin 73, North Iowa a bit warmer. It's been dry there for the most part. Osage 80, Mason City 81. So a different story in that south side of the area. 71 in Rochester, dew point 66. Definitely a muggy day, but the east breeze stirring things up a little bit makes it feel a little pretty comfortable. Scattered showers and storms today, then more midweek rain chances each day, at least a small amount for at least a portion of the day, but not quite as much as we have seen already today. That's the good news there. And then hot, humid weather for the holiday weekend. Showers continue to migrate eastward, watching this heavier cluster of rain that will be moving through between now and about 3 or 4 o'clock. Then things should settle down for about 24 hours until we see maybe an isolated storm late tomorrow. Marginal risk of severe weather and some of the strongest storms from Rochester to the east later today until about 4 o'clock. And the severe weather risk tomorrow to our west. And on Wednesday, even though that storm system comes in, greater risk well north of us, we will see some scattered storm activity, but not necessarily severe weather the way it stands right now. Watching these showers, a couple thunderstorms until about 4 o'clock, then they migrate eastward, and our evening looks better. So we will see some breaks of sun. High temperatures, low 80s today, staying in the 70s tonight. Another warm and a humid night. Temperatures step 70s overnight and right back to the 80s we go for tomorrow. Future track looking at some of those storms pushing out of the area for today. A drier night tonight. Tomorrow, a little more sunshine as we move along through our Tuesday with the chance of maybe an isolated storm or two grazing the area late in the afternoon and for the evening, although future tracks not really picking up on that. Better chance on Wednesday by far as the cold front with the system moves in, but let me tell you, there's not a lot of cool air behind that front because we're going to stay in the 80s right beyond that. We'll settle things down though for Friday and Saturday, and an isolated storm perhaps late Sunday. Temperatures all this week well above the seasonal average. That would be 81 for this time of the year. We're going to be at least 5 to 10 degrees above the seasonal average right through this week and most of next week too. Mid-80s in Rochester today, 88 in Zumbrota. Some late peaks of sunshine help us at least get in the 80s. 83 in Rochester with again those isolated storm chances through about 3 or 4 o'clock. 70 degrees tonight, partly cloudy, and then 88, a bit warmer tomorrow with extra sunshine. Perhaps an isolated late day storm after about 5 o'clock in the evening, but not a severe weather risk. And the 4th of July looks decent, a little hot, but quiet. Jess, that's the important thing. Looking at highs around 90.
Yeah, quiet is good, but a hot holiday ahead after a warm week.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ted. Just ahead after